Good evening, everyone. Time for another silver update. I am going to stick by my latest prognostication. I think that we're going to run pretty much straight to 50. I don't think we're going to really take a breather until we hit 50. Got some new lines here. One is just the general trend line of what we seem to be doing. This is... we're just going days, so if we just measure a day here, all you have to do is just look at the line, measure a day. Let's find the line where it's at an even dollar mark so we can get a good idea here. Okay, so here's we get a cross on the 5th, and actually it's going to be 2 days, so we get the cross on the 5th at 34.50. And then 2 days later, we get cross at just about $35. So let's just call it 50 cents. 50 cents in 2 days. So just call it $1 a week. $1 a week is $4 a month, something like that. So that's a pretty serious pace. I think we're rounding up here. Look at there's more trend lines here. We've got, and we seem to have parabolic series of cups. There's another cup forming here. The MACD is nice and sold off. If we back out, we can see the MACD is rounding off to the upside. It's completely sold down to zero. Not anywhere near the oversold point we were here or here. So I don't see any reason to call off my projection for $50 as the next stop. I think we will probably have a pretty violent correction at that point. I can't say where it will go. I think that we could look at something like what happened in 2008. I think for everybody who wants to get on board, it would be a good thing. For those of us who have been in it for a long time, and I'm going to touch upon an article in a little bit about this issue, but you can see here's where we went down to 850 or so from roughly 21. For those who've been in it quite a while, who rode this thing out, it was a pretty hairy situation. Now, it wasn't really very hairy for those of us. I pointed out this a number of times. It wasn't really too hairy for us that were in the physical, because I followed it real closely. $18, it pretty much was steady. So we'll draw a line right here for the physical on eBay. You could check it daily, which I did. And it was about right here. So this whole time that the paper market dropped down here to 850, the physical stayed pretty steady right about in here. Now I did buy, I bought a lot of silver right down here. My koalas that I picked up, I got $14 was the lowest I could get on those. I got buffalo rounds for $12.50. That was the lowest price I got. So you can see that's $8.50 to $12.50. That's quite a premium. That was from APMEX at the time. Obviously, they were close to taking a loss on those. I think they probably bought them at higher prices, but they do so much volume that their prices, they'll lower the prices. But they definitely increased the premiums on those. So I got in here, and my eagles that I'd had from before, which I'd bought all the way from $4 and $5 all the way up through, I think the last I bought was 16, and then we ran here. So those I really wasn't too concerned about, because I was watching them go continuously on eBay for around 18 the whole time, even when we were down 850. But I managed to pick up a lot of other stuff that I wanted, and I didn't really feel much pain. So the point is that physical is a whole different ball game here. People who were leveraged on margin, who were in the paper, they got wiped out. People in the physical, they just took an opportunity to add more. So I think we're going on the run to 50. I think that's the next stop. May be wrong. but I think it's got a lot of momentum. And to segue from that, I wanted to mention this article that Jason Hommel had pointed out just recently. I can see here, it's by the Silver Shield. He posted it, and there's a big drama related to that. He tried to get it on 321 Gold, and I guess there's this guy over there, Moriarty. A lot of people don't like this guy. He's kind of an anti-silver guy, I guess. I'm not really sure. But anyway, Jason Hommel put this as the best article on silver in 10 years, and Silver Bear Cafe called it the article of the week. It's a really good article. It's called The Silver Bullet and the Silver Shield. Silver Bullet is the idea that you can see that on my page. I've got my page has got two sayings here. Physical silver is the stake in the heart of the financial vampires. Physical silver is the bullet that slays the Wall Street werewolves. So that's the same concept. The silver bullet is, in my opinion, and obviously in his, is going to be the thing that can take this cabal down. As he points out, you can do more just by buying physical silver to end the paper manipulation of the currency and the corruption and the bankers and banksters and Wall Street criminals and just a sickening bunch of crooks from top to bottom that run this country and the world now. The silver bullet, you can do more damage to them and, of course, more to protect yourself by buying physical silver. So he recommends strictly buying physical silver. Now he goes through and gives a lot of the reasons. He gives a lot of the fundamentals. A lot of these I've covered in my Office series. He says it's the Achilles heel of the elite's paradigm. It is the second American Revolution. And then he goes through why silver is better than gold as far as money. All the things that make silver money. Why it has value. How much is left as opposed to gold. Some history of GATA. The big key factor of industry and why that makes silver so rare. Pointing out how indispensable silver is, second only to oil in its uses, which are expanding dramatically. By the way, silver is #1 in its mention in new patents. It's irreplaceable. The price is inelastic. It's infinite money in a finite world. And he begins to talk about the debt they've piled on. Currency crisis that's coming. Hyperinflation that's coming. Talks a little bit about peak oil. The fact that it has no counterparty risk. So it is in fact a deflation hedge. It's actually more important as a default hedge than it is as an inflation hedge, because the precious metals are the only assets that are no one else's liability. So you need to understand that. Covers a little bit about Max Kaiser, shorting. So talks about Buffett, how he bailed out in a silver position. Big article, lots of information. There's some typos here, not perfect, but he does a great job, fantastic job. Not surprised he's been getting a lot of heat. If you tell the truth about what's going on, you're going to take some heat. So I just wanted to do a big thumbs up for this article. I consider this second only to Bix Weir's Melt the Witch, swap all your gold for silver, which does also an excellent job of outlining all the fundamentals. So I had a lot of people ask me lately, should I get in? Should I wait for a pullback? I only buy at this point. Let me show you on the long-term view. When I started buying silver, I bought it as a technical. Well, I believed in the fundamentals. but I bought, my entry was based on technicals. So I had been accumulating silver and gold all through here, through the late 90s. I really started seriously buying in July of 2003 with this surge. And I bought more with this and with this. So actually I bought on a technical breakout here and here. Now I also bought more on this breakout, and I bought more on this breakout. Once that had occurred, this point here was about the last time that I stopped buying breakouts. At that point I started buying dips, especially this dip I bought. I bought this dip, and you can't see it here. The last dip I bought was $25. This $25 dip right, where are we? It's actually back here, so I'll pull out a little bit. Well, it's still not far enough. We bought on this dip right here. And this 26 was a good place to buy as well. So a lot of people have asked me, should I buy now? If you don't have any silver, if you have no silver at all, you should buy now. It may go lower, buy some more. But if you're not in the game, you have to buy physical silver. If you're already in the game and you have a fairly well-established position, you can afford to let your profits run and wait to buy the dip. I like to buy the dip because of the violence with which they throw the price down is so recognizable that it's easy. It gives a big buying signal. You've got huge dips like this, like this, like this. Basically, you just wait to see the price in a free fall. And then you just watch it as it free falls, and when it stops free falling, if you don't think it's really going to go much lower, you buy a little. If you think it may go down some more, buy a third, buy a half. Hopefully you will get a hold of the bottom. I didn't catch this bottom here in 2008. I didn't catch it perfectly. I bought a little bit at 12. I bought a little bit more down here around 10. The vast bulk of my buying was around here. I really increased my buying. So I took some nibbles, but then right around here, I guess I just got fortunate in October. When I saw that price of $8.50, I just basically backed up the truck, and because I believe so much in the fundamentals, and that's the most important point. You're not going to be able to buy when you need to buy if you don't understand the fundamentals. These technicals that we point out on a daily basis, these are for entry points, and these are for confirmations of what we already believe. You have to already believe the fundamentals. And that is really well outlined in this article. The fundamentals are, I know that silver is going to go through 50. Then it's going to go through 100 into triple digits. Then it's going to take a while, but it will get through triple digits, and it will go to quadruple digits in dollars. I don't know how much higher than that. Some have projected a couple thousand, 5,000, 15,000. Some even projected as high as $57,000 an ounce. I don't know, but I'm totally confident that silver will go through 50, it will go through 100, and it eventually will get to 1,000 in the 4-digit range. And I expect that within the next 5 to 10 years. I expect triple digits either late this year or sometime next year. I expect $50 probably this spring, very soon. So that's what I believe is going to happen to the price because of the fundamentals. I buy because of the fundamentals. I buy at the particular spot because of the technicals. So we know we're in a bull market. The only thing we plan on doing is buying. There's no reason to sell. And the only information we're looking for from the technicals is when to get in. And we may get that soon, but I think we're going to see 50 before we do. And talk to you next time.